I received a phone call from a lawyer this morning. He spoke while staring at the ground. My pulse raced. A lawyer? Were they calling for you? Clearly not, because he seems very unhappy as he is nodding. Apparently, your father had some assets that no one knew about. The lawyer represents someone named Matthew. He's claiming an inheritance. My world tilted. Matthew. He was already making his move. Did you really think I was going to tell you? Even as I spoke, this was only a whisper. This is news to me too. All I know is that Matthew is a son your father has from another family. Aaron searched me as he asked, "Why have you not disclosed this to me before? This is important, Liz. How long have you held this?" I said, "A few hours," with a sigh. I was not exactly sure how I was going to put it in words or what it will mean for us at the end. Rubbing his temples, Aaron let out a sigh. Well, what am I to make of this? Will this be contested in court? Is he putting a marriage on ice? Absolutely not, was my immediate response. What's before us is very simple. Matthew may do whatever he desires with the inheritance, but he is not going to be affecting us. I've let James idiotically sideline me once, and I'm not about to let him do it again. Aaron's eyes were set on me for some time. What you do with the money means nothing to me, Liz. It is clear you just have to understand that I will be there for you, and we'll take care of everything. How do I ensure no more secrets are kept? I squeezed his hand, hoping he felt what I was saying. No more secrets, I promise. I thought my mind would ease after a few days, and I was completely right. This was the first glimmer of relief I had been searching for all along. Aaron wasn't going to leave me over this. We could still get married, and we would deal with whatever came after it together. But deep down, I knew this isn't over. James won't let go of the anger that easily, and I was Matthew's sudden involvement in our lives, so I have a feeling that will add to my problems too. The wedding is round the corner, and with it, a storm that I am not sure we are prepared for. The morning of my wedding should have been filled with joy, excitement, and nerves. Instead, it was a mix of all stress. The repercussions regarding my father's secret life revelations had me worked up, but I made sure that I don't allow it to get to me on the happiest day of my life. Just when I thought I was ready, my mom called. It was an unexpected surprise. "Elizabeth, something has happened. James, he is here and he is making a scene." It had to be James? I cannot. I hung up feeling a mix of dread and frustration. I had hoped he will stay away, but he clearly is not over trying to ruin my day. When I got to the venue, I saw that James was standing outside arguing with my mother and Aaron's parents. James was screaming to my mom that she is making a mistake and that she does not know the full truth when it comes to Matthew and Dad. He was very angry and his face was red. I strode toward him, my wedding gown expanding behind me like a storm cloud. "What the hell are you doing out here, James?" He swiveled to face me, his gaze frantic. "You are about to make a grave error, Liz. You do not know everything. Matthew, he is mixed up in this more than you know. Do you think this is only about the multi-million-dollar will? It isn't." I clenched my jaw, holding my rage in check. "I don't care, James. Whatever father has done, whatever Matthew wants, it's not my problem today. This is my wedding, and you're not going to spoil it." But James refused to relent. "There is so much more that you don't know. You can't marry Aaron unless you uncover everything. I'm doing this for your own good." I was through with the mind games, the deceit, the mysteries. "No, James," I said, my voice quavering with rage. "You're doing this for yourself. You've been trying to manage this situation from the beginning, and I'm done with your crap. If you can't be there for me today, then leave." For a moment, I thought he might actually listen. But then in a tone so low I could hardly hear it, he said something which sent chills down my back. "You'll regret this, Liz. You will be sorry for not listening to me." As he walked away, I remained standing, trembling from a concoction of rage and fear. A disruption-free ceremony took place and, for some strange reason, I was able to feel content. Listening to Aaron's smiles while he spoke kept me anchored to loved ones. I exchanged vows at the altar alongside Aaron and, for the first time in days, I felt a rush of peace. Everything in life ceased to matter. James, the secrets, even Matthew. I know too well that this peace will not last. The first dance of the reception, the heartwarming speeches, we made it all. Aaron's tears impacted me deeply while he made his moving speech. His words reminded me why I appreciated him. No matter how chaotic everything around us is, Aaron always manages to be my rock and provide comfort. Together, we are capable of handling anything. At least, that is what I used to believe. When I had thought the worst was behind, the dance floor started emptying. When I decided to look around, I noticed a man's face watching me intensely. I made attempts to scan the crowd, but to no avail. He is definitely not like one of us. This fellow featured extremely casual attire, as if they had given no thought to the event. His gaze sent shivers down my spine. Something about it felt terribly known. My heart dropped. "Who is that?" Aaron asked, straining his neck to get a glimpse of the man. "I don't know," I whispered as I felt dread scratch against my spine, but I had a feeling I did know. This spelled trouble as I could hear the clock tick. "James." I politely excused myself from the last remaining guests and strode straight across the room. My heart began to race more and more with every step as I began to shift closer. The man advanced towards me, his eyes almost hollow. "Elizabeth, right?" he said, his tone deep. My head began to shake as I was posed with another question. "And you are?" His eyes shifted with hesitation, and for a split second I anticipated him to turn around and leave. But with a squared stance, he met my gaze with his piercing stare. "I'm Matthew." The world froze in time as I heard his words. The secret brother. The one my father had divorced and hid away from me. And now he was standing right here at my wedding. "I figured you would just bail on me, which is why I didn't prepare myself mentally," I said while my thoughts were in a complete mess. "So how did you find out about this?" "Intelligence is sometimes overrated," was all he had to say, like the answer was everything. I did think it was time for us to finally meet, and well, I wanted to know how I would put this. I wanted a Keith in person. For what reasons? Was my immediate thought. What was this person expecting from me and the family? As Matthew stood in silence, he shifted uncomfortably, and from the look on his face, I could not tell whether he was furious or even slightly annoyed. However, he had this strange quality of alertness and caution around him that made me think he was carefully listening to everything we said. "Why do people need to escalate their life in such a manner? Everything is perfectly fine," he finally said. "I just really wanted to meet you. I know of your existence because you and James are pretty well known for reasons unknown to me, and if I'm entirely honest, it has seriously puzzled me. You should understand that I didn't run around wanting to know who Dad's secret lover is." His last line of words were inferring an accusatory statement, and if I'm being honest, those words surely did hurt. They hurt not because they were false, but because the truth behind it cut too deep. They felt too unsettling as it compelled me to remember the first time I came across the reality of the situation. How we all were laws in some sick, merciless system, led by a man who made a decision of leading a double-ended life. "I don't know what to say," I said. "A few days ago I found out about you, so I've been trying to process it." Matthew seemed to follow along. "I understand. This is strange for all of us, but I believe that none of us should hate each other over something Dad did. We are, whether we choose to be or not, family." With those final words, I was stunned into silence. Family? Did that make sense? Or were we people turned against one another due to some unforeseen betrayal? "Listen," Matthew said, "I do not want anything from you. Not the inheritance, not your father's legacy. I don't want anything. I did not grow up with him, and I came to terms with that a long time ago. But I do think James, well, he is struggling more than you realize." "James?" I replied with wide eyes. Matthew nodded. "For some time now, he's been in contact with me. I think he feels guilty. It's like he is stuck in between feeling loyal to you and your mom and wanting to get the chance to make things right with me. He is going about it all wrong." Those are words that I never thought I would hear. Matthew was listening to James vent for my whole life, and for some reason, had never came to me. This leads me to believe that he has been trying to clean this mess all by himself out of anger and guilt. I suddenly feel drained. I realize that I have been so mad at him and arguing on my life with him, but the truth is that he might have been trying to do the opposite of what I was blaming him for. "I don't know how to proceed," was my answer, feeling exhausted by the gravity of the whole scenario. "I am lost in all of this. I am not sure how to progress further from this point." Matthew presented me with a small smile which was sad. "You know me, I am not sure either. The only way forward might be for all of us to discuss it, and I believe that is the only option we have. But it might be some time until that day arrives. Without doing so, this mystery will only destroy us." I remained there pondering in quietude at what he had to say. He is certainly correct. While my instinct tells me I would not want to have to face this uncomfortable truth, deep down I know I'd want to. It is bound to turn into a chronic problem, a blister that will rip our family apart from within. "Thank you for coming," I said in a soft voice. "Meeting you like this was rather unexpected, but actually, I am thankful you showed up." Matthew nodded, and for the first time, a glimpse of relief appeared in his eyes. "Maybe we can have more conversations down the line when everything settles." I was not confident about what to expect, but agreed. To be honest, everything could be more wordy. My complication with James, my thoughts towards Dad, and now, the most difficult one, my connection with Matthew. In a rather odd way, I felt some form of closure watching him leave even though I knew the story wasn't finished. He doesn't seem too well, Aaron said while stroking my shoulder. He approached me and wrapped me in a hug. You okay? Yeah, I said. I think I will be. I leaned into him and felt the stress of the day rests on his shoulders. Standing with my husband, I could feel myself slowly relaxing. Although it was hard to admit, facing all those changes single-handedly was impossible. The ways my life had shifted was beyond anything I could have ever thought of. For the first time in days, I finally felt that sense of relief sparkle. We are always together. No matter what hardship is thrown at us, I know for a fact we can withstand it. The long road ahead. Epilogue. Bringing together James and Matthew was a task that took weeks to accomplish, and when I did, everything in between felt completely dormant. After having neglected my feelings for so long, there was a sense of volatility in the air. My relationship turbulence meant that all these years' worth of grudges were finally answered. But it didn't feel that way with the Namaste family. We discussed, actually discussed, and for the first time in what seemed like forever, we had the opportunity to silence ourselves. Matthew chose to forego the inheritance. He had a life to live and a future to focus on, and dragging the family into a legal mess was not something he was interested in. There was still James. He had a much harder time forgiving somebody. Letting go of the guilt that stemmed from keeping that secret for so long was no piece of cake, and rebuilding trust amongst each other would take quite a while. As for my father's legacy, his lies will forever taint it. But I learned one does not become a family because of the mistakes one person makes. It is about what choices we make from there on out. And while the journey would be grim and long, I was certain of one thing. I was not embarking on it by myself.